Yes, welcome back to our class. Let's look at this simple question of physics. So the question says a proton is moving in a circular orbit of radius 14 cm in the uniform 0.5. This guy is called Tesla T, capital T. Magnetic flux, that means unit of magnetic flux. This man is this guy. Perpendicular to the velocity of the proton. Determine the speed of the proton. And what you need to do in this question is that if you look at the question, the question is talking of proton, everything is proton. And that means there's something inside. So now let's look at the question. Let's sort out our parameters. So in this question, what we have our radius, our r, will give us 14 cm. We also have our flux will give us 0.35 Tesla. That is magnetic flux. Then what we have again, we have to find speed, that is velocity, is unknown. So at this point, that velocity is simply defined as distance all over time. At the flux, that one is EMF, product of EMF and its area. The radius is given as distance. So now let's look at it. Say if a proton is moving in a circular orbit, so that one, if I have an orbit of this, so this is the answer is moving in a circular orbit. Let me say here is my radius, that is my 14 cm. I'm just assuming that place is my radius, 14 cm. So now at this point now, they have been given a flux, the flux at which this guy moves. The flux at which this guy moves. So now I am going to solve the speed. Remember, since radius is sitting here, at the circular orbit, you need to recall that force in a circular orbit is given as, that is, the force that acts in a circular orbit is called centripetal force. That is Fc. Force acting in a circular orbit is called centripetal force. And the force is symbolized as F subscript C. And the formula of that force is given to be mv squared over r. mv squared over r. Where my m here is my mass, my v here is my velocity, and my r is given to the radius. And then looking at the question, we're given our flux, that is our B, Tesla, our B flux, that is magnetic flux density, is given in the question to be B, 0.35 Tesla. Looking at this, mass, remember, mass is invisible in the question because see this one, proton, it means mass is invisible. So that means you can simply replace this man to be m proton v squared all over r. That means everything will be a proton because proton, mass of proton, remember, mass of proton is given to be 1.67 times 10 raised to the power minus 27 kilogram. That is mass of proton. It's constant. This man is constant. So how do you get this thing? Yeah, looking at this one, this man is not here. It is what I need to recall. If you can recall force of electrons, which says force of electrons equals to magnetic flux density times velocity times our charge Q. This is force of electrons, the force at which this man is moving, the force at which the electrons is revolving at the orbit. So this man, so at this point, what you need to do is that you need to relate, that means this man has to relate with this man. At this point, at this orbit, this man will relate because at this point, this is the force that will enable this orbit to revolve. And then this force here, this one is just to act at the center. This one is just to act, centripetal force is just to act at the center. But this one now, this is the one that will make this orbit to revolve. because it's a force of electrons. What does electrons do? Electrons is that force that revolve around the nucleus. Electrons is that force that revolve around the nucleus. So at this point, looking at it, because since this man is also acting at this point, this guy is also acting. So I can quickly say that the formula can be given this. And I can say that the formula is Fc is equivalent to AFP. That means Fc equals to Fc. That means force as a force of centripetal force. Centripetal force equals to force of electrons. So let me take my this thing to this other part. And from here, what is centripetal force? Mv squared over r. So I can say that from here, centripetal force is mp. The reason why I'm going with this is because I mentioned proton here. So that means this our mass is constant, which I've stated here, mass of proton. And our v squared, mv squared over r. That is our centripetal force. That means centripetal force equals to what? Since C is equivalent to E, this is our Fe. That means mPv squared over r. That means will be equals to BV Q. Remember, this is our Q. We have charge of proton. Charge of proton is given to be charge of proton. Charge of proton is 1.6 times 10 raised to the power minus 19 coulombs. This is charge of proton. It's constant. It's a constant value. So now at this point, we are plotting all the values. We are looking for this man, V. But V is here. What do I do? I can factorize. At this point, this man and this man will be sum of this man. Because I'm looking for V. That means this equation will be used to MPV over R equals to BQ. Have you seen the beauty of derivation? My people, it's not good to don't put any formula. Don't put any formula. What you need to do, just know it. Just let the formula stay in you. Let it flow in you all the time. So that at any point in time you see any equation, you don't need to be thinking of anything. Just derive the formula. And that's the beauty of knowing the stuff in you. So just have it at your fingertip. So let's continue. From here, I'm looking for this man V, because the question is find the speed. Speed is the same thing as the velocity. So I can make a speed subject formula. So from here, I can say that MPV I cross multiply this man and multiply this man will give me BQR. I can say that V equals to BQR all over NP. At this point, I've derived my V. Then I can substitute my values. B is given to be 0.35. 0.35 times our Q is 1.6 times 10 raised to the power minus 19. Our R, what you will do is that R is in CM, you will convert. So that means our V will be equal to 0.35 times 1.6 times 10 raised to the power minus 19 times. We'll convert this 40 divided by 100. That will give us 0.14. 0.14 divided by 100. That's 14 divided by 100. 0.14. So I'm converting R. R is equivalent to 0.14 meters. I'm converting the meters. So at this point, I'll quickly divide this mass of proton. I've taken here already. It's constant. It's given to be 1.67 times 10 raised to the power minus 27. My people, have you seen the beauty of mathematics? Just know it. I've just allowed the formula to stay. You just know how to derive. Don't grab any formula. So that at any point in time you come across any equation, you can just do critical thinking. That is the critical thinking. So let's quickly see what we have as our final answer. 0.35 times 1.6 times 10 raised to the power minus 19 of 0.14. My people, At the numerator, we are having that V equals to 7.84 times the raised to the power minus 21 divided by 1.67 times the raised to the power minus 27. Brothers and sisters, look at the beauty what we have there. Let's get our final solution. And I can say that 7.84 times 10 raised to the power minus 21 divided by 1.67 times 10 raised to the power minus 27. My people, what we have here is that we have that our velocity is given to be our velocity is given to be 4.69 times 10 raised to the power of 6 meter per second. Our velocity is in meter per second. Velocity is in meter per second. So now, my people, looking at this question that was given in the board, for us to derive at this velocity, these are the formula we combine: centripetal force and force of electrons to arrive at our V. If you look at this question, all these formulas, what you see here was not given in the question, but still it was invisible in the question. But you need to understand the question. That's why you need to think critical thinking. So at this point, we given first, we are not given. We derive this formula. We derive the formula centripetal force mv squared over r. From here, we get our velocity. We will take the force of electrons. We arrive at this one, which is this. We arrive here, derive it, then get our final solution. V equals to 4.69 times 10 raised to the power 6 meter per second. My people, check my code, check our comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Check more. That's where the local pata is. You will see more of accurate solutions on physics. Master your physics, maths, and chemistry. Thank you very much. In our next class, we continue. We check on more questions under this particular question. Thank you. God bless you.